Hi, everyone. Welcome to this brand new episode of 5 Minute Film Reviews. I'm your host, KB, and let's dive in. Today, we have a spoiler light review of the New York Film Festival darling French Exit. Based on the book of the same name by author Patrick DeWitt, it centers on Michelle Pfeiffer's character, Frances Price, who is an aging Manhattan socialite living on what's barely left of her inheritance. She's forced to move to a small apartment in Paris with her son Malcolm, portrayed by Lucas Hedges, and their black cat, which at first I thought was a nod to her portrayal as Catwoman, but boy, oh boy, is there more to that cat. Michelle Pfeiffer shines in this dark comedy directed by Azazel Jacobs, which ended up being a bit more eccentric than I expected it to be. Frances is living a wealthy life that I'm clearly not privy to yet. I mean, when her accountant tells her that she must sell almost all of her prized possessions just so she can survive, both her and her accountant say that they were hoping that she'd die before her money ran out. And while there's a bit of humor in that, there's also some truth. Frances has never worked a day in her life, and she doesn't intend on doing so now. Her son Malcolm is an adult, but relies solely on his mother. He doesn't question finances because it doesn't concern him, and he's never had to be concerned with them before. Francis and Malcolm have a unique relationship. They've been inseparable since he was about 12 years old, after his mother unexpectedly pulled him from boarding school following his father's untimely death and Francis's bout in jail. It's clear in the film that they not only rely heavily on each other for physical and emotional needs, but that they have an unhealthy codependence. So much so that when Malcolm is supposed to go to Frances and tell her about his engagement to Susan, instead, Frances ends up hijacking that conversation and also his life by saying that they're abruptly moving to Paris. Now, while Paris is the spot, and like honestly, things could be worse, um, you know, instead of saying no to his mother because he doesn't want to leave his fiance in New York, Malcolm just goes to Paris without one mention of his engagement. Now, clearly, Frances has some good friends, the type of friends that I need right now, because her bestie Joan just offered up her Parisian apartment for free like it was nothing. And again, since Paris is my favorite city, I kind of can't blame Malcolm and Frances for just picking up and leaving in a heartbeat. Along the way, Francis, Malcolm, and that black cat kind of meet some wild individuals and have some crazy, crazy journeys from traveling to Paris by ship. A one night stand with Madeline the medium, who comes back into play a little bit later. Meeting Mademoiselle Renard, who is just as over the top as Francis, plus the reemergence of Bestie Joan and fiance Susan in some unexpected ways. Frances pretty much is just eager to end her life, though. I mean, she made a deal with herself that after all of the money is gone, that's it for her. And while I can't share how that plays out, since I'm trying to keep this review spoiler light, I will say nothing is what it seems, especially with that black cat. So while it's evidence that Frances is struggling with her mental health throughout the film, it feels like her way of dealing with it involves hiding it from Malcolm. And it's not until the very last moments of the film that we see kind of another layer of transparency between the two of them. I really, really wanted that, more of that transparency throughout the film. Admittedly, by the end, I was still in tears, but I still really wanted more, especially from Malcolm, who I felt like just deserved more time and more moments with his mom. I found myself almost grateful, though, that they fled to Paris because it did broaden and deepen their relationship a bit more in ways that I wanted to see on screen. Something that I didn't get a chance to see that I was hoping to see was Malcolm just really standing on his own 2 feet and kind of what it looks like for him to do that apart from his relationship with his mother. Overall, this film was funny, unusual, and even endearing in some ways. Michelle's performance was a standout. The chemistry between her and Lucas was so peculiar in all of the right ways and kind of exactly what it needed to be for their non traditional relationship. French Exit surprised me in every way. And although I was never really sure where the film was headed, one thing is for sure: the layers, the performances, and the humor kept me intrigued along the way. I would definitely recommend this film, especially if you have an affinity for, movies that center on dark and messy drama amongst the elites. So that's it for today's review. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel through the lens of Lady KB for more interview exclusives and reviews. Until next time, thanks for watching.